Good morning everyone, Mary Rose here at Stitch Bliss Corner on the 8th of May 2020, Friday, and I'd like to say a special hello to my eldest sister today. Now I think what I might do, this is my Mania update, the end of the first week, and I think what I'll do now is go to I recorded daily, so we'll just go to that now and I'll catch you at the end. End of day 1, Mania, and I'm just about to be swinging off to bed, so I just thought I would show you how much I got done today and the original picture. I'll be back tomorrow. End of day 2. Please forgive the hanging threads, but I'll get started again as soon as I'm back on board in the morning. So that's day 2, StitchMaynia. End of day 3, Mania, and this charming little piece is taking shape very nicely. Catch you tomorrow. Good evening, end of day 4 Mania, and this is how far I've got. If you just look there, I've got some half stitches in there because there's a kind of an embankment there, and that'll be a bit more obvious. I'll just make that a bit bigger. That'll be more obvious when the outlining stitching goes in. And just there is where the wine glass is. I'll just show you the picture over here. There's the wine glass, and that's the edge of it there. So, and this yellow here is part of the cheese, that's full stitches. So in the far distance is the single one thread cross stitch. Here I've done, I'll have to do something just there, there's a bit of a gap there, but here I've done 2 threads one way and a single thread the other to give a little bit more density, and here I've done the 2 threads full cross for the mid distance. So we will just see how all this experimenting of mine will go with the final result of the piece. But it goes to show that a small piece, you can, even in a kit, you can still put your own moniker on it. You can still, use your own way of doing things to create the piece. So I'll catch you tomorrow. End of day 5 Mania, and this is where I'm up to. I've stitched the cheese. That's the first time I've ever stitched a block of cheese as far as I know. And I've started on the grapes down here. Now it's very busy in this area here, so I've had to put the scaffolding on to reorientate myself. I do these stitches over the top, over the grids, just to organise myself better. And then I'm going up this side, which is the side of the windowsill. Now, I have noticed this here. Let's see if I can make it a bit better, bigger for you. Sorry. Just there. And it looks a little bit like a Christmas decoration or something. But because I don't know what it is, I'm not sure that I'll be stitching that. Because, it's a bit distracting, I think. So I think I'll just leave that out. I don't really feel like stitching something I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's the end of day 5, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Welcome to day 6, Mania. And as you can see, I have some grapes here, and I've been going up this wall, and I've noticed that on the actual picture this ends there, but on the stitching there's an extra bit there just to show a little bit of the wall there. So I'll be doing that. Going on up. I'm going to go across here today, and then I'll be doing the bottle and the glass, and there's a few more grapes there. And what's the other thing I was going to say? The glass, if you notice there, I do have some half stitches in there because I just want to give the feeling of looking through the glass to the outside. So normally I would do the full cross single thread, but I'm just going to do the half cross there and see what that looks like once the glass is done. So that's the update for day 6, Mania 2020. Catch you tomorrow. It's the morning of the update for the first week, so I just thought I would record this part because I might be doing a little bit more before I do my video. But I've just come across the bottom here, and that's the entire bottom of the work. So you get an idea of the size of it. And I shall catch you a bit later on today. Right, so I've done a little bit more on it this morning, which I'll show you now. Now, summary of the week. Well, I didn't get back to my full coverage, which I didn't think that I would be able to leave it alone, but I did leave it alone, so that was good. In one way it was good. But anyway, yes, this piece has been very enjoyable. There's no doubt about it. I have noticed a few things. One is the picture that they give you in the Petite package. There is more stitching down here and more stitching up the sides. So it really is a little snapshot rather than the whole thing. So it is slightly bigger, which is good, you know, because it makes it look better. But I'm just saying. And then here, that little thing that's hanging down there, it looks for all the world like an old Christmas decoration or something. But it certainly can't be that, not with the weather like that. So, because I don't know what it is, I'm not going to stitch it. You know, I do like to know what I'm stitching. Right, so here's the piece. Now, on this side, I've done single thread stitch full cross, and can you see how the grapes look as though they sit out from the surface a lot more than on this side where I've got the double thread full cross, and it just looks like it's just on the surface, the whole thing. But that is in shadow, and I am going to outline those grapes, so that should make them pop out a bit more. But it's just interesting to see the difference between the full cross of the grapes there and the single cross one thread, how for the cloth. And the cheese, it's double thread as well, full cross, and it sits out more into the space. Then the background here, that's all single thread. Now the pattern, the chart, it's got half stitch there, full double thread, and it looks fine. Shall I do that? No, I shouldn't be let out without a carer. That's what I've decided. And it still looks, it looks really good. It's got the depth and everything. But for me, Mania Dimensions kits, the instructions on them are more just a general guide. I tend to do what I feel like. So mine is not going to look the same as that, my long-winded way of getting round to saying that. So here you can see also, with the picture here, you can see the extra amount that you have here. You've even got an extra grape down there. And a point on this napkin or whatever it may be sitting on the sill there, compared to the picture where it just gets cut off. And at the side there, on this side, there's a lot more. It cuts off there, so this whole column is not on the picture. So yeah. And was there anything else I had to tell you about this? I don't think so. I think it's just coming along very nicely. And, this shouldn't take too... The bottle is there. You can see the shape of it coming in. And the glass. So with the glass, as I've said in the clip, I've just made that just the half stitches there because you're looking through the glass. So we'll see what happens when I put the full crosses in here, how that looks, because everything's subject to change. If it doesn't work, I'll just start again, or pull it out and start again. So yeah, so that's my update on Dreaming of Tuscany, first week, and Stitch's optical illusion syndrome notwithstanding, I think that I will probably finish this next week, in the next 7 days of Mania, in which case I can get back to my other piece. But this has been a wonderful interlude, and I'm very, very happy that I did decide to do that one. So yeah, well, that's basically all I've got for you, just that little update. I hope everyone's doing well. We've just got to keep on keeping on, haven't we? Everything's fairly quiet here. Harlequin got out and mowed our meadow. It's just... Well, when you put off mowing, it's really only... I usually mow, and I enjoy mowing. But I think I'm starting to lose my enthusiasm for it because I'm just too busy doing other things. So, the grass was getting a bit long, so out he went yesterday, and he's done a cracking job, which is very nice. I keep having to remind myself that it's our garden. Because I said to Harlequin, I said, well, in medieval times, I said, they used to leave one field fallow for the year and just let everything, the weeds and everything just grow on it to rest the earth for that year. And ours was looking a little bit like that, but now it looks very different. So there was the mowing. there anything else that happened? Not really. Just stitching, and enjoying peace and quiet. Oh, well, there was one thing that did happen, and I'm still trying to work it out. It's a little bit like Bizarro World, really. The house opposite, there was a lot of activity going on for for 6 weeks or so. Anyway, people coming, people going, and things being taken off trucks and all the rest of it. And I thought maybe they're getting a balcony done at the back, an extension or something. Anyway, the garage started coming down. They've got a little, garagey thing in their driveway. And I thought, oh, well, maybe they're just going to reconfigure things. Anyway, so it went. And then a new garage, exactly the same, was put there. I mean, it is identical. I mean, you wouldn't, unless you, well, I don't know how you'd know the difference. And I'm trying to work out what it is that would make someone replace something that was already there with the exact same thing. It reminded me of a film, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Well, there have been versions made of that film. But there was one in particular where they did absolutely everything exactly the same, and except it was in colour. And I can remember realising then why directors, when they're redoing someone else's films, put their own stamp on them, because otherwise it's really quite silly, to be doing that. Yeah. So that was a bit of a conundrum, and still is. So, if anything does happen, if they decide to tear that one down and replace it again, I shall let you know. Yeah, anyway, so I shall catch up with you again next Friday and let you know how things are going with this piece. And I hope everyone's enjoying Mania and watching what everyone else is doing, keeping up to date with their progress. And until next time, it's goodbye from Mary Rose.